Welcome to this writing vlog. I'm Saoirse and I'm starting a new channel. I just thought I would kind of give you a little intro to me. Obviously I'm a writer. I plan on self-publishing. I'm a fantasy romance writer, and my current project that I will be probably talking a lot about on this channel for the foreseeable future is Project Canopies, and it is a kind of an urban fantasy romance. It's got fae. My main character is a succubus. The love interest is a siren, and what else do I want to say about it? The main part of the story takes place at a metal music festival. All of the characters are pretty much into like metal music, and they're either like musicians or they work in that industry. But it's like there's kind of the fae and then like the humans that don't really know that fae exists, mostly that type of urban fantasy setting. So like in our world, but you know, with fae. It's book one in a series, and I feel like I just haven't really been making the type of progress that I want to be making on it, which is why I'm starting to do writing vlogs again. And I say again because I've done them in the past on a different channel, but with the way that the YouTube algorithm works, I decided I should just full on make a new channel, because YouTube doesn't like it when you try to do too many things on one channel, as I've found. And also if you try to resurrect a channel, YouTube doesn't really like that either. So I thought I will just start fresh. But I feel like in the past I just didn't have enough time to keep up with, sorry, my chair is really squeaky if you hear it make noises, but I haven't had a lot of time in the past to dedicate to content creation. And when I was trying to do writing vlogs in the past, I was suffering from burnout. I was working a 9-to-5 job that I hated. I just didn't have enough energy to like be consistent with anything, with writing, with content creation, none of it. So obviously, of course, it never amounted to much because I couldn't keep up with it. I'm in a different phase of my life currently, where I feel like I do have the time to dedicate to it. I just have to make the decision to actually do it. And that's why I'm here doing the writing vlogs, is because I feel like I've just been kind of in a state of limbo, kind of half-assing my writing. I haven't really been like focused on it. And I think that writing vlogs will help me get in front of my computer more often than not. And even if the writing that day isn't great, at least I sat down and did something. I'm doing the writing vlogs to help keep myself a little bit more accountable, because I want to get a book published in the next year, in the next 365 days, right? I would love to self-publish in that time frame. I don't know if that's reasonable. I don't know how long it's going to take to like find an editor and get a cover that I like and beta readers and all of that. That was not necessarily in that order, but a little bit more about me. My name's Saoirse Bray. That's my pen name. My given birth name is Sarah. You can call me either, but I do usually just use Saoirse as my name on the internet because, you know, I don't know, marketing, branding, whatever. I'm gonna be turning 32 in almost a week, which is kind of cool but crazy. I live in the greater Seattle area, and I'm hoping to, again, start this channel to keep myself accountable, to hopefully find some people who write in my same genre so we can be friends and have a little community. I'm hoping to make friends with other author tubers, just kind of be in the community more. I feel like I just want to get a little bit more involved. I just want to have a space where I can come and like talk to people that I know understand what it is I'm doing, and yeah, I don't have any writer friends like in real life, so I feel like sometimes that's where I get stuck, is like I don't have someone to talk to about it. So it's like hard to, because like I can talk with my friends and they'll get things to an extent, but since they're not writers, there's certain things that they just won't understand, or they won't like, or they'll understand but they won't be going through it too. So it's like a little bit, you know, I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to think of anything else that you may need to know about me. Oh, I think I may have gotten off track when I was talking about this, but Project Canopies, I am starting draft 2, or I've already started draft 2, but I've kind of been in this weird phase of like trying to kind of re-outline certain parts of the story, but at the same time like like feeling like I am dragging my feet a little bit and I should just get started with like writing some of the scenes that I know need to be rewritten just to like get it started. Draft 2, we're revising, and I've never done that before. And something that's been really helpful is I feel like there's so many author tubers that are revising a second draft right now. And I've been really enjoying that they're in that same spot as I am. Another thing to know about me is I do have my, I guess my main channel. I'll leave it linked down below. I just talk about knitting. I knitted this. I made this little zip, quarter zip? Probably a quarter zip. I made it, I knitted it. That's a yarn cabinet back there. I have some yarn sitting on my table. I'm gonna clean that, don't worry. On my other channel, I just talk about knitting, and that used to be my authortube channel. It started out as an authortube channel, but then I didn't ever stick with it. And then I was trying to do kind of like a combo thing where I was doing like reading, writing, and knitting. It just didn't really work. So I'm feeling called to do this. I'm feeling like this is an expansive thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I'm gonna learn through this process. I don't know what opportunities will come through. I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna meet. I don't know who I'm gonna talk to, but I just really want to be a little bit more involved in a writing community. And this is the way that I feel like I know how, is because I've been doing YouTube for so long. So in some form or another, I go with it. I'm gonna see what happens, and I hope you're excited to go on the journey with me. That is my little intro to me and why I'm doing this again and why I'm doing it on a new channel. But I hope you decide to stick around. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleaning and just get things kind of set up for a little bit of vlogging tomorrow and a little bit of writing tomorrow. So I will see you then. So please excuse the hair. I just showered. Well, like a while ago. Okay, so it is 1 o'clock, 1:03. Yep, 1:03. Saturday. I've had a pretty chill day so far. Just like haven't really done anything. Took my dog out. That was really nice to just like be out in the kind of crisp autumn vibes outside. I just heated up my coffee from this morning. I have some of these chocolate covered pretzels, but they're the Girl Scout ones. They're like Thin Mint chocolate covered pretzels. They have them at Costco and they're amazing. I just ate lunch, but I'm having a little dessert as well. Oh, it's 1:11 right now. I want to try and do some writing. So I'm revising draft 2. I've written some new scenes for the beginning of the book, and one of the things that I'm working on right now is changing the inciting incident. Basically, there's a sort of rite of passage that my main character had been looking forward to for like almost their entire adult life. This was supposed to make her life a lot easier once she had gone through this rite of passage. The inciting incident previously, and it still is this, but the inciting incident is that as she's doing this rite of passage, like it doesn't go as planned. In fact, it just totally goes wrong, and she's like, what the heck, this is not what's supposed to happen. And the thing that she has been waiting for so long is like suddenly not available to her. That was where I was going to kind of leave the inciting incident of like, okay, this is, she's been dealt a bad hand that she hasn't been prepared for. What now? But I kind of realized, I was like, I need a little bit more. I need her to be sort of presented with another option that she then pursues as like, I sort of just felt like something happened to her and then she's sort of just like reacting to it, versus like something bad happens, she's reacting to it, but also gets this other, like, is presented with a different path potentially, and kind of, the debate will be like, will she take that path, or what, what is she gonna do? So it just like adds to the stakes, I think, in a way that my first draft didn't quite have. So that's where I'm kind of trying to outline right now, and I don't know, I'm like, I feel like I'm ready to start writing those scenes, but I just don't know. If I feel like I'm kind of dragging my feet. I'm like, should I outline a little bit more? Should I continue outlining? Should I wait until I have a totally complete outline before going into draft 2? I've already written a few like the opening scene and things like that because they just needed to be redone. Because I'm kind of a pantser by nature, but I've been trying to outline more, and I think that's the hard part, is like figuring out the balance between the two, because I don't want to outline so much that I get to a point where I can't experiment, I can't play around with things, I can't like see where things might lead me, but I don't want to just be completely in the dark with where I'm headed with this draft. So I know I need a little bit of an outline, but I might not need to over outline. So I'm trying to just kind of figure out my balance personally, and yeah, so I don't really know. I kind of want to just set a timer for like 25 minutes and just see what happens, see if I can't get a little bit of momentum going, because I think that's the hard part. Is I've been having a lot of ideas for this book, but I haven't worked on it, and so it's hard to get back into that flow. Did 25 minutes of outlining. I kind of was thinking about it as I was going through and sort of rereading some of my scenes, and I was like, yeah, I need to outline, because I realized I had rewritten the opening scene from like changing it from what it was, or I kind of like added, I kind of like started the story a little bit earlier in the timeline, I suppose, and I realized that one of the things that my character is doing like right off the bat didn't align with her character, and so I need to go change that, but I haven't yet. That just made me realize I'm like, I need to keep outlining because I feel like I'm still not entirely sure what parts of draft 1 I want to keep, and if I have the outline I'll be able to tell. But I did add 12,000, a little over 12,000 words to this particular document. This is my draft 2 document. So I have like draft 1 in another Scrivener project, and then draft 2 in a different one, so that I can, like, I don't want to accidentally change something and then realize that I want to change it back, and I don't want to like lose things that I have in draft 1. So that's why I'm keeping it separate and just kind of moving over. Even if it's a scene I know I'm going to completely scrap and then rewrite, if it's a scene that I know I still need or that I want parts of, I'm going to move it as I'm going through and I'm kind of outlining. I'm moving things that I already have into this draft. So obviously I did not, that was just copy and pasting 12,000 words. Did not write that in 25 minutes, obviously. Sorry, I moved you guys back over here because the lighting is a little bit better and the angle is a little more flattering. I have it outlined to chapter 15, which is kind of where chapter 15, chapter 14 are kind of like the introducing the B story, like the B story characters, kind of setting up like how they're going to be interacting with the main character. There's quite a few characters that are all, I don't know if it's going to end up being too much, but there's going to be quite a few characters kind of all being introduced all kind of at the same time. There is a flashback that I think that I do still need, and I think I forgot to put it in here, so I might have to shift some of these chapters further back, so like chapter 15 might become chapter 16 and things like that. But I mean, that's probably gonna be the case for a lot of different times in my draft. But yeah, I think I had kind of left off around chapter 8, got some outlining done, and moved some scenes into the document, kind of have them ready to go to revise later. And the ones that I have moved in, I think for the most part, I know the direction at the very least I want to take them in when I rewrite them, so that's good. I'm done for today. I think that was a good opportunity just to like get back into my story, kind of reconnect with it, figure out where I'm at, because that was kind of the thing, was I kept trying to get back into it and then kind of being like, I don't know where I'm at in the story. I don't really know where I'm like what I'm trying to do right now. So it's hard to like convince myself mentally to like sit down and just like figure it out. And I think that's why I'm so excited about these vlogs, is because this has been taking me like months, I feel like, maybe not months, maybe months to really get into the mental space to like get back into my book, and this gave me the push that I needed. And so I think that that's gonna be a really good thing, and I am excited for that. So I will check in with you guys on Monday, and then we'll see. I don't know, I might start editing this video on Monday maybe, and see how much longer I want it to go for. But I want to get like 2 hours of solid work in on Monday. So I will check in with you guys in 2 days. Cool. See you soon. I'm going to do some writing sprints in a little bit. I saw yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, perfect timing. Brielle Writes is doing a writing sprint live stream today at 2:30. It is currently 1:53. I'm gonna have some lunch, drink some coffee. My dad had a free reward, so picked that up while we were out grocery shopping, and I'm gonna eat lunch because I haven't had that yet, so I'll be prepared to write. But yeah, that's kind of what's on my to-do list today, is some outlining sprints, and I'm going to use Brielle's live stream to tackle those. Hopefully today I'll be able to get in approximately 2 hours worth of sprinting, so we'll see how much I do. I'm going to track how many sprints I'm like actively participating in during the live stream, how much I get done during that time, like what chapters I'm outlining and stuff. So like, okay, this 25-minute sprint I outlined 2 chapters or something like that. So I'll check in a little bit maybe as the live stream is going and keep you guys updated. So stream is about to start soon. It's 2:25. I still have some coffee. I've got a donut. Just, you know, may save it for later, but maybe a little reward after a couple sprints. I'm just looking at this. I have outlined up to chapter 15. I'm hoping, I don't know how many chapters draft 2 will end up being and like how many chapters my draft will be. I'm hoping I could finish it in this during this live stream. Is that too ambitious? I don't know. My drafts or my outlines aren't super detailed, so I feel like I could do it. We'll see. I got such a good idea when I was drafting, because I don't know if I would label my project as enemies to lovers. In fact, I would not say it's enemies to lovers. I love enemies to lovers, but my female main character and my male main character are not enemies, but but I did want them to not like each other or not get along at the beginning. I didn't really know how to have them not get along when they first meet up without one of them or both of them coming across very like rude or bitchy or something. So I was kind of struggling with that, but then I got the best idea that works with the plot. And so like the plot kind of sets up like a situation where my main character, my female main character, can kind of be a little standoffish to the main male character, and then because of that he's like, this girl's like super rude and I don't like her and all that stuff. So I'm very excited. However, I am up to the last stream I edited I outlined 3 chapters and now I'm at the midpoint. And I don't really know what my midpoint is, and I feel like that's a problem. I feel like I should know what it is, but I'm reading this and I feel like, I mean, it even says in the book like this is kind of one of the hardest parts that a lot of people struggle with, and I am struggling with it. I know it's kind of a place where in the book, like if your character seems to be doing really well, it's kind of when things start to actually go wrong, or they realize that the thing that they were trying to get isn't what they want it to be, like vice versa. So like things might be going really poorly, and this is kind of where things could maybe start to turn around. And I'm kind of not sure. I think this is the question I need to answer, is like, and maybe I need a few more chapters before the midpoint. I might need a few more chapters in the fun and games section, and that might be why I'm struggling, because now that I kind of think about it, I feel like of the last 3 chapters I outlined, like one of those was definitely more so part of the break into Act 2 and B story setup. I think maybe that's why I'm having the problem. As I'm like talking out loud, I'm like, yeah, I think that's the problem, is that there hasn't been enough fun and games yet, and there hasn't been enough time for my main characters to have things going in either direction. Like they just got to the place where Act 2 is taking place, so I think I need a little bit longer. I think I need some more chapters, but I don't know what those chapters are. I think that'll be a place where I'll need to just outline more and brainstorm a little bit. So what I might do for the remainder of this sprint, I'm already like 5 minutes in, but this is good. This is progress, me talking this out. I think what I want to do is maybe start outlining from the end and then back to the midpoint, and then figure out what other things I need. Because the fun and game section it's like a good chunk of the book. Obviously multiple chapters, so I need way more chapters, and I think that's part of the reason, is that I was thinking I was at the midpoint and I'm not. So I think I'm gonna outline from the end of the book back to the middle and see like, okay, what am I missing? What do I need to make the end of the book work, basically? And then that will be some of what goes into the fun and games. That was a super helpful chat. I'm glad we had it. Thank you so much for listening. Back to the sprinting. The sprints are over. We only did 2 25-minute sprints, which was fine, because I feel like all my brain can take today. I feel like I need to let things like simmer a little bit, but I did figure out my midpoint. It kind of came to me. I didn't end up reverse outlining because, or like going from the end of the book back to the midpoint. So then I started just going through and kind of filling out from my first draft, like just continuing to cherry pick from my first draft, like what are the things that I want to keep in. And as I was doing that, I realized what the midpoint was, because I was thinking about a scene that I had written that I'm definitely keeping, and I was like, oh, this makes sense. So I figured out my main character, the female main character, when she's in Act 2 in this, you know, new world, the Act 2 world, she is thinking that things are going really well for her. She gets a couple wins, and then suddenly things start to go wrong. And she, you know, makes a discovery that kind of like, she realizes like afterwards, she's like, oh, things are not going, I thought things were going well, and now everything is not going well. So So that's what I kind of realized my midpoint would be, is that discovery, and that was already written into draft 2 or draft 1. I just didn't know that that was the midpoint, I guess. Maybe I wasn't really thinking about it because I was mostly pantsing draft 1 a little bit. There's plotting here and there, but I was mostly pantsing, kind of plantsing, you know, so I didn't really have it structured, but kind of naturally had a midpoint, but like, yeah. So anyways, there's still a few more things I kind of need to add to that section of the book, but I think I panicked a little bit thinking that I didn't have enough in that section, but I think I do. I will still need to go back, I think, and fill out the fun and games a little bit more. I think we need a little bit more fun, a little bit more games. But having the solid midpoint there is key, and it happened, like I have more in my draft 1 that's from like where I was outlining in draft 2. In draft 1, there was quite a few more chapters between where I was at thinking that I didn't have a lot in the fun and games section and where the midpoint actually was, so it wasn't as sparse as I was thinking, if that makes sense. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end this vlog here just because I don't really know how much footage I have. I feel like I have quite a bit, so I'm probably gonna end it here, work on editing it, getting it uploaded. Brielle and Amina, they were just streaming, they said that. Because we were talking about a lot of author tubers starting our channels in the chat, and they were saying to like tag them, so I might do that. So if you're wondering why I tagged you guys, that's why. I guess where I'm gonna leave this vlog, but hoping to get to know some more people in this community. Thank you again so much for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. I would love to hear what you're working on and what genres you like to write in. But I hope your writing is going well. I hope you're getting lots of writing time in and lots of good inspiration. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up too if you enjoyed it. But other than that, I will see you in my next vlog probably, and until then, happy writing. Bye!